Hello everyone, my name is Nate. This is Throttle Only. This is a 2023 Nissan Altima SR. Let's check it out. Okay, so let's waste no time and get straight into it. So let's start with this color here. So this color is going to be in brilliant silver metallic. The MSRP for a 2023 front-wheel drive SR starts at $27,830 US. So as tested, this one is $31,915 due to the addition of the premium package. I'll explain what that includes in just a minute here. So under the hood here, we have a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that is naturally aspirated. It has a CVT transmission and it is front wheel drive. And it is going to push out 188 horsepower and 180 foot-pounds of torque. For fuel economy, it gets 26 city, 36 highway, and 30 combined. And the overall weight is going to be around 3,300 pounds. Okay, so starting up front here, let's talk about this hood. This hood has two body lines on either side that kind of push its attention straight into the front of the vehicle, which will have this beautiful V-Motion grille by Nissan. I think it looks really good, especially if you remove the license plate that is supposed to be there. It just has a lot of dimension to it, and I love the blackout look against this beautiful silver color. So then also in front, you are going to have a Nissan logo that is going to look like it has adaptive cruise control features and whatnot inside of it, but this particular vehicle does not have that option for it. And then onto the left side of that Nissan badge, you are going to have an SR badge for it, and that is going to be in red, and that's also going to look pretty dang good against this black grille here. On the sides, you are going to have some pretty good looking headlights here. They aren't my favorite, but at least they are fully LED and they look pretty bright at night as well. And then when you go ahead and turn on the turn signals, this white section here will go ahead and turn amber for you. And then lastly, you are going to have some fake venting here on the sides. I don't really mind it because this is supposed to be an economy vehicle. It's not the Nissan GTR. Okay, so now that we are at the side of the vehicle here, let's go ahead and talk about these wheels. So these wheels are going to be the 19-inch machine finished alloy wheels, and they look pretty good for being just standard stock Nissan wheels. I don't really have a problem with them whatsoever. They do have a small Nissan logo in the center, as well as an SR stamp along the outside of it. And then as we come on back, you are going to have some mud flaps that are going to be body colored, and they are going to be very small, but nonetheless they are included. And then as we look at these door handles, this is not going to have a proximity auto open where you can just put your hand behind it and open it, but you are going to have a button here. You can just go ahead and push that button and it will lock or unlock for you, whichever you choose. And that is only going to be on the front doors for you. So as we continue to look at the side of the vehicle, you might notice there are a lot of body lines here. If you look at the top, starting at the front wheel here, there's one that extends almost all the way back to the rear of the vehicle. And then just below that at the door handles level, there's also another one that comes almost all the way down here to the front. And then just below that, you have a very interesting one that kind of swoops down behind this front wheel and then almost down below where there's kind of this makeshift side skirt there as well. And now as we finish up the side profile here, so you are also going to have a sunroof that is going to be able to tilt, and then it will also open up into itself, into the body, and it's not going to sit on top like some of the other vehicles that we might have seen. And then you're also going to have your fuel door back here on the driver's side, another body colored mud flap that's going to be down below here that's going to have a smaller profile to it. You're going to have some chrome trim up above the doors here, and then you are also going to have this black piece that's going to sit behind this rear door that is going to reach the rear window here. That's going to kind of separate out the roof and the lower half of the car. All right, and then looking straight on back at the vehicle from the rear here, so you are going to have your antenna that's going to sit right up top here. Your third brake light is going to sit just above the trunk here. And then on the trunk, there's not going to be a spoiler. Again, this is not a sports car. However, there is going to be a little bit of indentation here just below it. Gives it a little bit sportier look as well. You are going to have a Nissan badge just below that. That's going to be finished off in this gray color. It is matte and it looks pretty good as well with some white lettering on the inside. And then on to my left side here, you are going to have an SR badge glossed in this red which looks pretty good as well. And then on the other side, you are going to have an Altima badge there. And then on either side of the vehicle, you are going to have some pretty chunky looking taillights. They are going to be halogen, and I think it works pretty well for this vehicle. You are also going to have a reverse camera as well that's just going to sit just above that license plate. And then below that license plate, you're going to have this chrome strip that is going to be for your loading floor as you load stuff into your trunk. And then as we continue on down from there, you're also going to have some parking sensors and then some fake venting that is going to be above this nice gloss black diffuser there. And then lastly, you are going to have 2 exhaust tips here, but the exhaust you can see is inside of the exhaust tip. It looks kind of weird. Okay, so that's the exterior of this Nissan. Let's go ahead and listen to this exhaust. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the engine looks like on this economy vehicle. All right, so here is a look at this 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that is naturally aspirated. And then here is what it looks like in relation to these front wheels here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way over to the trunk here so we can assess this trunk space. And as we walk on over, let's go ahead and look at this key here. So this is going to be your Nissan key. You're going to have a Nissan logo there up the top. This is going to have remote start that is going to be right below that logo. Then you're going to have your lock, your unlock, and then you'll have your hold button to go ahead and unlock the trunk. And then you will also have an alarm button there as well. And then this is what the back of the key fob looks like. Let's go ahead and look. All right, so with the trunk popped, this is about how much room you're going to have. There is a decent amount of space in here. You are going to have these Altima cloth floor mats here that are going to come standard. And then below that, you are also going to have a spare and a lift kit here. And the tire is just going to be below this area. Additionally, you will also have some coat hangers as well, some grocery bag hooks, whatever you want to call them. And you will have 2 on each side there. And then you can also put the seats down using these levers here that are also on both sides. And we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've let the seats down here. So just keep in mind, if you are going to go ahead and pull these tabs here, you do need to just go ahead and pull them, and then you will have to manually push your seats forward. I'll also give you a look at how much room there is in the rear seats with them down. Okay, so now we're going to see how much room there is in the back seats here. I do have the seat adjusted for my height at 6'1". So the very first thing that I notice is the back seats are super comfortable, and oddly enough, there is a ridiculous amount of room back here for my legs, my knees. I have no issues whatsoever with this, and you could probably tell this is a pretty long wheelbase vehicle, and it definitely shows here in the back. So the materials here in the back are this semi-cloth material. It's not real leather, but it looks like leather, and it feels very plush as well. Looking at the door panels, there are going to be some hard materials all the way throughout. You are going to have some glossy kind of metallic-y color around where your window switch will be, and then more of this kind of fake leather cloth material that will just be below that. And then lastly, you are going to have a little area for your speaker, and then a small water bottle / storage area as well. This vehicle is also going to have a sunroof, but the sunroof you can't really see back here. It does not extend past for your backseat passengers. And then you are also going to have some USBs here in the back, only 2, and you're not going to have any AC vents for you to control or anything like that. But you are going to have some cup holders and an armrest that is going to be right in the middle between your backseat passengers. Looking at the front passenger doors, they're pretty much the same as the rears, except you're going to have this small area right here that's going to be able to show you your blind spot monitoring system there. You're also going to have some lock and unlock controls here, as well as your window switch. Same kind of gloss black material, but you can see in the shade here, it doesn't really have much of this reflective sparkle color that it had in the rear. Then as we come on into the cabin, you are going to have some nice Altima SR mats that come with the vehicle. You're going to have some automatic seat controls here as well. And then you're going to have some of this beautiful trim on the seats here in orange and white. And you can see some small perforations in there as well. Looking at the driver's door panel here, you are going to have one automatic window switch, which is going to be the driver's side. Then you're also going to have some window lock controls here, as well as your lock and unlock controls. And then of course you will be able to adjust your mirrors from here as well. And you might be able to see these nice specs showing up again here. I think that looks really nice, that it's just not a very plain gloss black. And then here is another look at this door panel here. As we come on into the vehicle, you are going to have your trunk open button, which is going to be right there. You're going to have also your fuel door, that's going to be there. Rubber pedals, a pretty nice Altima SR mat there as well. And then you are also going to have some automatic seat controls here with some bolsters as well. All right, so on the inside of the vehicle here, looking at the center console, so it is a little cushiony. You can see here I am pushing down, but not too much. And then you have this nice contrast stitching that runs along the center. And then inside of the center console, there is actually a lot of room in here. It is very deep. Go ahead and shut that. And then you are going to have a small area right here for some storage. Your cup holders are just going to be next to the shift lever, which is going to be right here. And then you are going to have a start and stop button that will be right there. And then just behind that, you are going to have some wireless charging, as well as some USBs, and then also a 12-volt adapter. And then we cannot forget about this trim here as well. So this also is going to be just a little cushiony, but not too much. And then you are going to have some more of this nice contrast stitching here. Just above that, you are going to have the AC controls. This AC is kick butt. It works very well. And you're also going to have heated seats for both the driver and the passenger, and it's going to have 2 settings on there. And then your regular AC controls will be there as well. Up above from that, you're going to have some of this faux carbon fiber. You can see it's kind of reflecting in the light right now, and I think it looks pretty good. And then this is also going to run all the way over to the passenger door over there. And then as we move on up, so this center screen here is going to be a 12.3-inch display. This is going to be part of that premium package here, and this is not going to be a standard one either. And it is extremely responsive as well. We'll go ahead and push the home button up here, and this is going to be what your home screen is going to look like. We can go ahead and scroll, and it'll give you some more information on here. Kind of reminds me of what BMW has been doing for a number of years now. You are going to have Alexa, different connections. It'll show you the nearest gas station as well with a good price there. You're also going to have weather, Nissan Connect, and then you can also customize items as well if you want to add certain pages there. If we go ahead and hit navigation, there we'll go ahead and just bring up all of the entire map for the entire screen here. And then of course, just like any other navigation, you can choose whether or not you want to input gas stations, restaurants, things like that. If we go ahead and click music here, so this is going to have Sirius XM radio, as well as just your standard radio as well. And then you can also use your call button here if you do have your phone connected. My phone is not connected at the moment. And then if you push this small button down here, this is going to be your app icon, and these are just some of the different apps that you can add onto here. But I think the nicest thing is with this premium package is you are going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Before I move on, let's take a look at what this reverse camera looks like. And then as we move on to this steering wheel here, we'll start over here on the left side. So you are going to have the trunk button that's going to sit right there. You're also going to have your button for your brightness and then your trip reset as well. More of some of this carbon fiber here. And then on the steering wheel, you are going to have some black paddle shifters. They are going to be plastic, but they do feel pretty good. And they are as responsive as you might expect in an economy vehicle, but it is nice that they are there. You're gonna have a nice Nissan logo here in the center, and then some nice kind of brushed aluminum look here. More of this nice beautiful trim as well. And then this may look like it's leather, but again, this is gonna be like this faux leather material. It is a pretty skinny feeling steering wheel as well, but nonetheless, it looks better than just being a regular steering wheel. On this side, you're gonna have some media controls, your volume buttons here, your skip buttons, your back button here, and then you're also gonna have some cruise control options on this side here. You can resume, cancel, set, and then you're also going to have a call button there as well. For the center instrument gauge cluster, you might notice that it is a mixture between digital and analog gauges here. So to adjust the center screen that is right here, you're going to have to use all of these buttons right here. So to do that, I'll just go ahead and click the up button first, just to show you what kind of menus I have at this point here. And you might also notice there are some arrows that are right here and then on the other side as well. So I'll go ahead and hit the arrow button to the right here, and you can see now it's displaying fuel economy. I'll go ahead and click that again, and there is a small menu there, some tire pressure right there. Go ahead and click it one more time. And then here are some other settings here that you can mess with: maintenance, vehicle settings, clock, TPMS, driver assistance, VDC, and then we'll go back to speed here. All right, and then lastly about this interior here, so I'll show you this sunshade here. So this shade is going to be manual, but then for the glass, it is going to be automatic. So you can go ahead and retract it back all the way into the body like I showed before. And then this will also have a tilt feature as well. And then for the rest of this section here, so you will have an area to store some sunglasses if you would like. And then all of your lighting controls will be up here as well. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and take this Nissan Altima SR out for a drive. Let's go ahead and just start with a 0 to 60. There aren't any special drive modes or anything like that, so I'm just gonna floor it. All right, that's honestly not too good. Something that's very weird with this CVT is it kind of gets stuck at about 48, 50 miles per hour, and the RPMs just are stuck at around 6,000, almost redlining, and it doesn't shift gears or come back whatsoever. And that's in auto mode. I've also tried doing manual shifting, and it just ends up slower. So, I mean, yes, I understand that this is an economy vehicle, but what about merging onto traffic? Having enough speed to merge onto traffic, especially onto a freeway, is also pretty important. Everything else in this vehicle is pretty nice for what it is. The seats are very comfortable. Visibility is very good as well. I do like these different blind spot monitoring alerts that are already on the inside of the vehicle and don't indicate on the mirrors. That's pretty cool. This giant 12.3-inch touchscreen is pretty nice as well. Primarily the fact that it has Apple CarPlay is a pretty big plus for me, as well as some wireless charging. So everything else with this vehicle is pretty nice too. I think that the price point is pretty set. I mean, it is at $30,000, which isn't bad, but that's also for a new Altima as well. So this has been kind of my thoughts on the Nissan Altima SR. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to this point. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.